states to illegal immigrants and so on. It's complicated, this. What is your view generally about who should stay and who should go?
Well, listen, it really, I listened to Gavin Newsom speak about that, and I have several thoughts about what he had to say. First off, I don't care how he feels. I barely care how I feel.
In this video, Dr. Phil joins Piers Morgan Uncensored. Dr. Phil and the panel discuss illegal immigration and the Trump administration's job performance thus far. With that, let's watch Dr. Phil wreck the left and their fake BS virtue signaling about illegal immigration.
I'm joined by Phil McGraw, host of Dr. Phil Primetime on Merit TV, who's been in Los Angeles with ICE agents ahead of the immigration race. Dr. Phil, great to have you back on Uncensored. Just give me an overview, Phil, about what is going on in Los Angeles and where your biggest sympathies lie.
Piers, it's good to talk to you again. And once again, I think the mainstream media, the legacy media, they're just ignoring the facts here. They're really wanting to inflame the situation. They're not wanting to inform people about what's really going on. And I'm really not sure what the objective is of the mob here. I listened to a lot of the speakers on microphones last night, yesterday, really since this all started, and they're demanding the release of the people that were arrested. Surely they can't expect that to happen. I mean, what would happen if the federal government just said, hey, okay, all right, you guys are upset, so we're going to open the jail and turn all of these people that were arrested, lawfully arrested, we're just going to turn them loose. And among those they would be turning loose are drug traffickers, those that are accused of domestic violence, one with a indictment for second-degree murder, a 55-year-old illegal alien from the Philippines convicted of burglary, sexual penetration with a foreign object, assault with intent to commit rape, a Mexican national with a rap sheet that includes shooting up a house and a vehicle with people in them, willful cruelty to a child, driving under the influence, an illegal alien from Vietnam with a criminal history that includes conviction for second-degree murder as well. So I'm not sure what they're expecting to happen here. Surrender? To just say, hey, we give up, we surrender. You guys don't like the laws that your elected officials passed, so we'll turn everybody loose. This is a ridiculous position.
It seems to me, looking from afar, I'm in the UK at the moment, that I've got a house in LA, as you know, and spend a lot of time there. It just seems to me that Trump is doing exactly what he said he'd do. He said, I'm going to do mass deportations of people in the country illegally, and he was focusing in the campaign on criminals. So people who committed crimes who in the country illegally.
I don't know if they're going to address this, but I just want everyone to be aware, and most of you probably are, that what you're seeing from the Democrats right now on one specific talking point is what they do all the time, but we're watching it unfold right in front of our faces. One of the arguments they always have when ICE goes and picks up a bunch of people that are here in the country illegally, you know, with big sweeps, they're like, but one mother of 9 got picked up and she hasn't committed any crimes since she's been in the United States, and what's going to happen to her children, and the crimes Dr. Phil just listed, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, are heinous. So of course those people need to be picked up, deported, and punished. But I don't care if every single illegal immigrant that has been picked up didn't commit a single crime since they've been in this country. They're criminals. They broke the law when they stepped into this country. Full stop. What else is there to say? And I think Dr. Phil makes a great point. What are these rioters' expectations is going to happen by demanding their release a bunch of criminals? Can anyone think of any other scenario on the planet where that would work? If you bust up a prostitution ring and catch a bunch of prostitutes and customers, if someone threw a protest and said we demand they all be set free, would that work? No, they'd just be laughed at. Obviously, the people that are rioting are complete morons. But I have to believe that at least some of them have enough sense to understand that, look, these demands we're making are ridiculous and no one's ever going to do what we're asking. So then the question again becomes, then why are you doing it? And it's because they're miserable and they want everyone else to be as miserable as they are. And they're so stupid in their Cro-Magnon brains, they can't use their words, so they use violence. They want to burn cities to the ground. Isn't Trump just an awful person for sending in help to Los Angeles to make sure that the law-abiding citizens are safe? This whole thing is just so silly. Well, I don't even hear anybody making an argument as to why it's okay that these people are rioting. I hear the liberal mainstream media trying to justify it and trying to blame Trump somehow, but no one's saying, oh, these rioters really have a good point. They're a bunch of loser morons, and I will have zero sympathy for anyone that's involved in this that's punished and punished severely. I have bad days all the time. I don't just start destroying things so everyone else is having a bad day too. Let's get back to the video.
And I think most Americans I've spoken to have absolutely no problem with people who are in America illegally in the first place, who are then committing crimes and are caught committing crimes, of those people being thrown out of the country. There's unanimity about that. It gets more complicated. I mean, Gavin Newsom talked there about a 4-year-old girl, and that's one of the stories you get, where you get people who, by association, perhaps to illegal people who commit crimes, they get thrown out too, or they're there illegally, but they haven't committed crimes while they've been in the United States, and they built, maybe as Newsom said, a 10-year life, and they've paid taxes and so on. And then you have the dreamers, obviously, who were born in the United States to illegal immigrants and so on. It's complicated, this. What is your view generally about who should stay and who should go?
Well, listen, it really, I listened to Gavin Newsom speak about that, and I have several thoughts about what he had to say. First off, I don't care how he feels. I barely care how I feel about this. It's not a matter of opinion. We are a country of laws, and laws are not suggestions. They're not guidelines. They're not optional. They're not Monday, Wednesday, Friday, one week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the next week. These are laws, and they were passed by Congress. And the people in Congress were elected by those people in Los Angeles. They have representatives in Congress that pass these laws. And once those laws are passed, are they not to be enforced universally across the board? They're not they're not optional. And the people they're attacking had nothing to do with it. These ICE agents, do you think anybody asked a single ICE agent, what's your opinion of the law? They're hurling rocks at the heads of these ICE agents, and so they're going after them. They had nothing to do with this.
But again, Phil, what I would say to that, just to jump in, what I would say to that is, I've watched those scenes and they're utterly horrific. And the people doing that, they're trying to kill people, right? So I would absolutely charge them with attempted murder. You throw a rock at a passing car and smash the windows, you're trying to kill that person, in my estimation. I don't think anyone's got any problem with people doing that. If they're there illegally, then throw them out of the country. But what about the people who are not criminals, whose only crime, and it is a crime because if you enter the country illegally, you have entered the country illegally, you've broken the law. But do you think it's enough if that is your only crime, i.e. you're there illegally to start with, if you built a life, you have a family and so on, is that enough to be seized off the streets by ICE and deported in Europe?
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
In my opinion, that's the law. And listen, Thomas Sowell was speaking, someone that I admire greatly was speaking about this just a few days ago. I listened to him talk about this, and he said it very well. He said, nobody questions the humanity of most of the people that have crossed the border, even illegally, that there are some good people there, some family people there. The Hispanic population is by and large, their culture is very family oriented. So no one is questioning the humanity of those people, even if they cross the border, but that doesn't make them immune from the law. If you are here illegally, Tom Homan has said it very clearly. There's an app that you can go to that says, look, self-deport, take yourself out of the country if you're here illegally. They give, if you register there, they give you time to get your affairs in order here. They give you a plane ticket to fly you back to where you came from when you entered the country illegally. They even give you $1,000 when you get on the ground back where you came from to help you get your feet under you there. But if you stay here and you are arrested, they have to find you, arrest you, process you, and send you out. You face bars. It can be 5 years, it can be 20 years, it can be forever to come back into this country if they have to find you, arrest you.
Thomas Sowell is so great. He makes a good point just to put the issue to bed because, as always, the Democrats always have to play the emotional angle with Americans to get people on their side. They throw out this 4-year-old girl, this single mother who's a pillar of the community. Those are the exceptions, first of all. But when those stories that the Democrats love to highlight come up, they say we're not acknowledging their humanity. First of all, I don't even know what that means, but I love every human being, even the worst of the worst. This isn't about your humanity. It's about right and wrong. You broke the law and you got to pay the consequences. I say this all the time. If I got pulled over tomorrow for having expired plates on my vehicle, the police officer is fully within his rights to take my plates, tell me I can't drive, impound my car, all the way up to arresting me. Whose fault is that? I might not like those severe punishments for something like that, but I was fully aware that I need to update my registration, and I didn't do it. I broke the law. Why do I have to follow the rules? But non-citizens, you have an entire political party trying to make it so they have no consequences for their actions. Unacceptable.
You process you and deport you. So the whole reason of being so transparent about this process is to let people know if you're here illegally, you need to take measures to remove yourself so you can then file for a visa and come back in here legally. So I think if you're here illegally, you're here illegally. Now, if you don't like that policy, I'm sorry, if you don't like that law, then change it. These people shouldn't be protesting on the highways in South LA. They should be going to the Capitol in D.C. and protesting to the legislature to change the immigration laws.
Seems pretty simple to me, but we want to hear from you. What do you guys think about this conversation about immigration between Dr. Phil and Piers Morgan? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you in the next one.